question. It says find producer surplus and you are given the demand and supply curve. Okay. How is producer surplus beta? So first of all, I will find the equilibrium between demand and supply. I will find the equilibrium price. Area below price above the supply curve will be producer surplus. अब यहां पर देखने को मिला that the demand curve is quadratic. So demand curve is quadratic. ठीक है. But supply curve is linear only. तो supply curve तो linear ही है. Supply curve is starting from 15. When demand is 0, price is 15. है ना? देखो. Supply curve का starting देखो. Again, just try to see here. When x is 0, supply price is going to be 15. So basically what will happen is I will draw a quadratic demand curve. I will draw a linear supply curve. Supply will begin from price as 15. This is going to be my equilibrium price and this will be equilibrium quantity. And this area, ये जो area यहाँ पे आएगा, I need to find this. This will be my producer surplus. Clear? ठीक है. Let us find the equilibrium first. So how do we find the equilibrium beta? Wherever demand is equal to supply. Wherever demand is equal to supply. ठीक है. So what I can do is 3x square minus 20x plus 5 is equal to 15 plus 9x. 3x square minus 20x, take this on the other side, minus 9x plus 5 minus 15 equal to 0. 3x square minus 29x plus 10 equal to 0. 10 into 3 is 30. 3x square minus 30x plus x plus 10 is equal to 0. 3x x plus we need to make some other factors. देखो यहाँ पे this is minus 29. अच्छा, this will be minus 10 beta. 5 minus 15. My bad. ठीक है. So this will be x minus 10 plus 1 x minus 10 equal to 0. 3x plus 1 x minus 10 equal to 0. X will be minus 1 by 3 and 10. X is quantity. Quantity cannot be negative. So therefore, x will be 10. So I have got that this equilibrium quantity is 10. Put 10 in any of the functions, supply function में डाल दो. So price will come as 15 plus 9 into 10, 15 plus 90, 105. अब क्या निकालना है? Producer surplus. We can find this. यही तो area है. So half into base into height. Half into base. Base is 10 beta. Height is 105 minus 15. Right? So what will you go ahead and what will you get? Half into 10 into 90, 450. क्या हो जाएगा producer surplus? What will be your producer surplus? It will be 450. Producer surplus will be 450. Clear? That's the answer to this. Go ahead, try the first question. Tell me what the answer should be. Okay. That's right. All of you are correct. Whenever you go ahead and whenever you interchange the row or column, for every one time that you go ahead and interchange them, you need to multiply it by -1. You need to multiply the determinant by -1, right? So it is interchanging the first and last column of A, which means there is only one time that you are interchanging it. Right? You're only interchanging it one time. So yes, the answer will go ahead and become B. That would be the correct answer to this question. All of you are correct. Yes. Go ahead. Give the next question a try. Yeah. So yes, so what you can do in such sequence question, that is correct. So -1 to the power n, 1 plus 1 by n. You can go ahead and you can take two parts to it. One, you can, whenever you see this, no? Whenever you see -1 to the power n, you will take two parts to it. One, when n is odd, and second, when n is even. So if n is odd, so in that case, -1 to the power n will become -1 because -1 is getting multiplied odd number of times. And when n is even, then -1 to the power n will become 1 because n is odd. So power is even, right? So -1 is getting multiplied even number of times, like -1 to the power 2 or -1 to the power 4 and so on. So what happens is that you can go ahead and you can rewrite this function. For odd, it will become -1, 1 plus 1 by n. And for even, it will become 1, 1 plus 1 by n. Right? Now to check the limit points, what you can do is you can plug n as infinity. So if I take limit n tends to infinity, -1, 1 plus 1 by n, I will go ahead and I will get -1. 1 plus 1 by infinity, anything by infinity will be 0. And I'll get the answer as -1. Similarly, if I will be plugging it here, then I will go ahead and get 1 plus 1 by infinity and I'll get the answer as 1. So there will be two limit points. But my question is that will limit exist? If I would have given you this question as a limit question, will the limit of this function exist? Absolutely correct. The function will not have any existence of limit because you're getting two limit points. You're not getting a unique limit point. So if you get two separate limit points, then limit of the function does not exist. That is the correct answer. So answer would be C. Okay. Go ahead. Give question number 31 a try. Now, the first two questions can be considered as a 1-mark question. And this question can be, the questions that we do now can be considered as 2 marks questions. Okay, that is, so let's see here. So you have a function fx, and the function fx is given to you as x cube minus 3x plus b. Find the number of points in closed interval at which fx is equal to 0. So, which we know, therefore, that first we should be going ahead and checking whether this is an increasing or a decreasing function. So, if I find out f dash x, I will get this as 3x square minus 3. which will be 3x square minus 1, right? And the interval that I am given is that x belongs to -1 to 1. It belongs between -1 to 1. So if it belongs between -1 to 1, you will put anything here. You know, if x belongs between -1 to 1, including these values. So if I square this, then this will belong between 0 to 1. Right? And in that case, if I do x square minus 1, this will be strictly less than 0. It will be negative, right? So this value will be negative. So which means f dash x, if I talk about this function, this will be less than equal to 0. It means that it will be a decreasing function, right? It will be a decreasing function. Now we know that whenever we have increasing or decreasing function, so an increasing or a decreasing function can cut the x-axis at most one time. या तो एक बार भी नहीं करेगा. If my increasing function is like this, it is not cutting x-axis ever. Or if my increasing function is like this, it will cut the x-axis once, right? These are the only two things that can happen. Similarly, if it is a decreasing function, either it will cut x-axis at 1 or it will never cut the x-axis like this. So whenever you have increasing or decreasing function, maximum it can go ahead and cut the x-axis. At most, it can cut the x-axis at once. At most. It will not do it more than one. It can maximum go ahead and maximum cut the x-axis as once. This is the first thing that you have to go ahead and you have to remember. Okay. Now, will it? So at most once means either once or 0. Now, are we sure what it will be going ahead and doing in this case? Will it cut exactly once or not? No, we are not sure about that. It can happen that it never cuts the x-axis, and it can happen that it cuts the x-axis exactly once. So we are not very sure of what will happen in that case. Now, what you can also go ahead and do is, suppose there was some value of b given to you. अगर यहाँ पे b दिया होता, then you would have evaluated the function that what happens when x is -1. Right? So you would have got some value here. And when x is 1. Okay. For now, I don't know what will happen, right? But if some b would have been given to me, I would have commented further. Just as supposedly, let's assume that b would have been, supposedly, b would have been 1. So this would have become 3. And this would have become -2 plus 1. That means it would have become -1. So then I would have known that, okay, when x is taking the value -1, my function takes the value 3. And when x takes the value 1, my function takes the value -1. And I know it's a decreasing, strictly decreasing function. So I know it will cut exactly once. Because I'm certain now. I know the value. But currently I don't know what b is. Supposedly, what if b is, say, 5? B is 5. So what will happen now? This is 5 here. And now this is 5 here. So this would have become 8. And this would have gone ahead and become 3. Right? So now I know that here the function value is 8. And here it is 3. Which means my function is only till here. Because it is only defined between -1 to 1. Then it is not cutting the x-axis at all. So it will be dependent on the value of b, which we don't know. So maximum that I can go ahead and say is that, okay, it will cut at most once, but will it exactly cut or not once? That will depend on what value of b we have, right? So yes, most of you have gone ahead and answered it correctly. The correct answer to this question will be, in fact, B. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Do this one. Anyone? Yes, that is the correct answer, of course. Absolutely. The correct answer will be A. Definitely, this is a false statement, right? So if you find out, if you look at the denominator should not be 2h. That is incorrect, right? You look here, the denominator is always the gap between these two. So denominator is h, right? Denominator should not be 2h here, right? So definitely all of you are correct. The answer will be A. That is the correct answer. Okay. Do question number 33. These two statements are given to you. You need to say which is true, which is false. We'll take maximum likelihood in the next class, okay? Okay. The best way to do these kind of questions is just take some number and check. Just take some number. So let's say I take x to be 10 and I take y to be -4. The ideal way will be you take one positive, one negative, then one negative, one positive, both negative. 4 cases leke dekho, but I start with the first one. If I'm able to negate with the first one itself, then I am done. So if I just take the first one, mod of x will be 10, mod of y will be 4. It should be less than equal to 10 minus -4 in mod. So 6 is less than equal to 14. This is true, right? Take the next one. So mod of x is 10, mod of y is 4. I take a this and this is equal to 10 minus -4. So 6 equal to 14. This is false. So statement 2 is definitely coming out to be false, right? Statement 2 is coming out to be false. Statement 1 is coming out to be true using this example. Now you can just alter the example. Take x to be -4, y to be 10 and just take statement 1 क्योंकि 2 को तो हम पहले ही false declare कर चुके हैं with one example. So you just have to check statement 1 again. So -1 का mod will be 4 and y का mod will be 10 less than equal to -4 minus 10 mod. So -6 less than equal to 14, which is also coming out to be true, right? You can also check with x equal to 4, y equal to 10 and x equal to -4, y equal to -10. You will find that in all cases, it will come out to be true only. So answer will be A. Answer will be A, that statement A is true and statement B is false. So yes, all of you have answered that correctly. Okay, come to question number 38. Try to do this one. Give this one a try. There is a function given to you from R to R and A is less than B. F of A is 0. F of B is also 0. D square fx plus D fx minus 1 is given to be 0. Now you have to go ahead and tell what of the following is true. Pretty simple question. Don't take a lot of time in this. Okay. D, A, B, all different answers. Okay. So what's the formula of f dash x? F dash x is what? How can I write this as? Can I write it like this? Which theorem would this be if I want to write it like this? F dash x equal to f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Given f of a and f of b are 0. Which theorem would this be? Yes, you need to remember what is mean value theorem, what is intermediate value theorem. ये याद रखना जरूरी है. ठीक है? So I am writing f dash x as f of b minus f of a upon b minus a. Now, what is given to me that when we do the double derivative of the function, माने f double dash x plus the single derivative of the function minus 1, I am told that this is 0. I am told that this is 0, right? Now, please understand that using this theorem, I anyways know that when f of a and f of b are equal to 0, f dash x will be equal to 0. So instead of f dash x, I can plug in 0. So I will get f double dash x plus 0 minus 1 is equal to 0. So I'll get f double dash x is equal to 1. Now, when I get f double dash x as 1, it means that the double derivative is coming out to be positive. It's not a very difficult question. Double derivative is coming out to be positive. If double derivative is positive, it is the condition for minima. It is a condition for minima. So it means that this function has a minima, right? This function has a minima. So what should be the answer to this question? B. Answer will be B. How was f dash x 0? Because of usage of the theorem that when f of a and f of b are both equal to 0, then f dash x can be written as f of b minus f of a upon b minus a, which is equal to 0. Okay. So answer would be that the function has a minima. Maxima का condition यहाँ दिख नहीं रहा है. So the function has a minima and therefore answer would be B. Okay, go ahead, give this question a try. Consider a function as described in the previous question. So question is using the same function. I hope you have written that function down. Then, which of the following condition is true? You need to tell which condition is true. Very simple. Yes. How about others? Anyone? I just wrote the condition. See, we said that f dash x will be equal to 0, right? And if you f of a and f of b are given to you as 0, so just think about it. Suppose this is a beta. तो at a फंक्शन का वैल्यू 0 आ रहा है. दिस इज b. b पे भी फंक्शन का वैल्यू 0 आ रहा है. और ये जो फंक्शन है ये मिनिमा अटेन कर रहा है. माने कि ये फंक्शन मैक्सिमा नहीं अटेन कर रहा. ये फंक्शन मिनिमा अटेन कर रहा है. इट इज अटेनिंग मिनिमा. तो between a and b, can't we see that the function will always be less than equal to 0? The value of the function will always be less than equal to 0. Function is attaining minima. We proved it in the last question. At a function का value 0 है. At b भी function का value 0 है. That means it's going like this. It has to attain a minima. Minima कौन से function होते हैं? Which go from decreasing to increasing. Those functions which go from decreasing to increasing, they have a minima. So this function must be here. So the function between a and b must be less than equal to 0. So the correct answer will be A. That's the correct answer. Any doubt in this? Pretty simple question. You just have to think about basic differentiation, right? Okay, 24. First, give it a try. Okay. So, how will we solve this? Let's try to understand this thing. So, in this case, we are given that probability of A is 0.50 and probability of B is 0.70. Can any one of you tell me what are you getting as probability A intersection B? What is the answer for probability A intersection B? Absolutely. It is going to be use the basic formula, probability of A plus probability of B minus probability A union B. So probability of A is 0.50 plus 0.70 minus 0.85. This is going to be 1.20 minus 0.85. This is going to be 0.35. Also, did any one of you check the other options? You need to check them. It can be an MSQ question, right? So this is probability A intersection B from this formula. This formula is always valid. ये हमेशा ठीक होगा formula. Always valid. And from this formula, you are getting this to be 0.35. Now, if they are independent, so probability A intersection B will be probability of A into probability of B. So it will be 0.50 into 0.70. This is giving me 0.35. So both of these are giving me 0.35. Right? It means that the first option at least is correct, that they are actually independent of each other, because probability A intersection B is becoming probability of A into probability of B. So that is the correct part. That is in fact correct, right? So yes, they are mutually independent. ये एकदम ठीक बात है. A and B are equally likely. ये तो ठीक नहीं है, because we can see that probability A and B are different, right? So they are not equally likely. This is incorrect. Not mutually independent is also incorrect. Mutually exclusive. They exclude each other only when probability A intersection B will be. When will they exclude each other? A intersection B will be 0. Absolutely. It will be 0. So this is also incorrect. So we can only conclude that A is the correct option, right? That is correct, that they are mutually independent of each other. Absolutely. Okay. Come to the next question. Try this one. A discrete random variable x. अब बहुत important है ये चीज, हाँ? So this is how you will be tricked in exam. बहुत ध्यान से देखना है. Till now, we have learned that uniform distribution is always for continuous random variable. Uniform distribution always stands for continuous random variable. But here in this question, we are given that x is rather a discrete random variable. So discrete में uniform का क्या मतलब निकल सकता है? What can it mean? First tell me that. What does it mean to be uniformly distributed but in a discrete random variable? Anyone? Random guess, अगर ये exam में आए, what do you think? What will it mean? Absolutely equal probability. उससे ज्यादा मैं कुछ मान ही नहीं सकती हूँ. Uniform means equal. Uniform distribution in continuous variable meant that each one of them had the same constant probability k, which we had found as 1 upon b minus a. यही तो निकाला था. So when it is a uniform distribution, but it is a discrete variable, इसका simple meaning है that each x will have equal probability. Each x has equal probability. So kitna x is it? This. So each one of them will have the same probability. So there are 6 x's, 1/6 probability to each one of them. Now try to solve this question. Now try solving it. Give it a try. Open the absolute value. Think. Probability x minus 14 less than 5. इसको open करते हैं. What will we get? Probability x minus 14 between 5 and minus 5. है ना? Whenever you open absolute value, you put minus also and plus also, और वो interval हो जाता है. Add 14 on both sides. Probability minus 5 plus 14 less than x less than 5 plus 14. Probability x between 19 and 14 minus 5 माने 9. अब देखो, what are the x between 19 and 9? We can go ahead and we can see 11, 15 and 18. Isn't it? These are the 3x which are between 9 and 19. So this is going to be probability. X can be 11, x can be 15, x can be 18. I am just doing it in multiple steps. इतना करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Each have equal probability. 3/6, 1/2. So the correct answer to this question is 1/2. There is no equal to. अगर equal to होता तो I would have included 9 also. But I want those x's which are between 9 and 19. Those x's are 11, 15 and 18. So you will consider only those x's. Is this clear? So answer is A. Absolutely. Very, very simple question. बस उन्होंने ये बोलने की जगह that they have equal probability word use कर दिया that they are uniformly distributed. और ये बात we know this thing कि यूनिफॉर्म डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सिर्फ कंटिन्यूअस में है. डिस्क्रीट में यूनिफॉर्म का मतलब सिर्फ एक ही चीज हो सकता है that they have equal probabilities. Okay, so I hope that this question is absolutely clear to you. Let's move on to the next one. Try this one. This is very tricky question. I want you to give this a try. This is GATE 2024 question. Give it a try. See, stats is something जो एकदम whatever we are doing exactly same नहीं आएगा. It will be an application of that. So you have to keep your mind very open. Can you tell me first of all, what is the expected value of x? It is x, fx, dx integrated in the interval wherever x is defined. ये होता है expected value of x usually. इधर इन्होंने they have tricked you. What they are saying, you have to find the expected value of x. But in the term given is in the conditional form. तो ये वाला जो probability है यहां पे, इसकी जगह पे पहले मुझे ये चीज निकालना पड़ेगा, probability x given y equal to half. Instead of this probability, I will have to replace it with this probability. That's the first thing. जिस भी चीज का expected value निकालना होता है, you will go ahead and you will plug that probability ना. तो यहां पे I need to find the expected value of x given y equal to half, not x. तो I need to first, ये वाला जो probability, I need to find probability of x given y equal to half. Can you find this for me quickly? Just give it a try. Find this probability. This will be probability x, y equal to half. That means their intersection. So I can write it in a better way like this. Probability x equal to sum x and y is half upon probability y is half. ऐसा लिख सकते हैं. What is the numerator representing? We have done this kind of question last class में. What is the numerator representing? Anyone? X का कुछ value और y का कुछ value. What is the numerator representing? What is this word called? Nothing but the joint distribution, because there is some x and some y. Right? And what is the joint? Because I am taking some value of x and some value of y. So joint distribution. And what is the denominator representing? The marginal distribution. Absolutely. The marginal distribution. How do I know numerator is joint distribution? क्योंकि कुछ x और कुछ y है. Y का क्या value does not matter. But numerator is representing some x and some y. Denominator में सिर्फ y है. It means this is marginal distribution. It means x के लिए, or for all values of x, I have integrated it. This is the marginal distribution of y. Marginal distribution of y. So try to understand. Okay. Now if I ask you, find the numerator for me. Find the joint distribution for me. So joint distribution to already I am given here. What is the joint distribution given to me? So my joint distribution f of xy, this is given to me as 2 by 3 x plus 2y. Now I want to find this distribution for some value of x, but I want to keep y at half. So this will be 2 by 3 x plus, instead of y, I will replace half and I will get 2 by 3 x plus 1. This is my joint distribution where I have kept y at half. Can you find marginal for me quickly? Marginal distribution of y. कैसे निकाला था हमने marginal distribution y का? To find the marginal distribution of y, you were integrating for all possible values of x, right? And here x is between 0 and 1. So if I go ahead and I find the marginal distribution of y, what will I get? I will get integrate 2 by 3 x plus 2y. For all possible values of x, x is between 0 and 1. Just integrate it. What will you get? 2 by 3 x square by 2 plus 2xy between 0 and 1. Right? Put the values, get the answer. What will happen? 2 by 3, 1 by 2 plus 2y. This will be 1 by 3 plus 4 by 3y. Now, the denominator tells me that this marginal distribution needs to be evaluated when y is half. So I will put y as half. And I will get the answer as 1. So the denominator will be 1. The numerator will be this. So this probability, this figure, ultimately, this will come out to be 2 by 3 x plus 1 upon 1. This is the final probability that needs to be plugged in here. Then you will find the expected value. Should I repeat this question? Okay, let's repeat it. Just see. तो क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे कि you are given a joint distribution. You are given f of xy is equal to 2 by 3 x plus 2y. You are not given any relation between x and y in the range. आपको x और y दोनों ही x comma y है. Both of them are between 0 and 1. And it says 0 otherwise. Right? You need to go ahead and you need to find the expected value of x given y is half. Expected value of x given y is half. Right? Now, if I open the expected value, what will happen? I will get, so whenever we have to find expected value of anything, we integrate that, जिसका भी निकालना है, यहाँ पे x का expected value निकालना है, तो x into the probability. But यहाँ पे probability किस चीज का लेंगे? इस चीज का. So into the probability of x given y is half dx. This must be integrated between x is between 0 and 1, so 0 to 1. This will be the formula of expected value. यहाँ पे हम conditional expected value निकाल रहे हैं. That is why I have taken the conditional probability. Now the first thing is that I need to solve for this conditional probability. हमें ये solve करना है. So what we will go ahead and do is we will find probability x given y equal to half. So I will use the usual formula. Probability A given B is probability A intersection B upon probability of B. So here it will become probability x. Ab x ka no value is given to me. So I will take x at all values of x intersection y at half upon probability of y at half. Right? Now, if we look here, the numerator is some value of x and some value of y. So when we define for some value of x and some value of y, that is called as joint distribution. The denominator is only for y. यहाँ पे denominator में there is no x. माने this is marginal distribution of y. It is independent of x. So marginal distribution of y. This is joint distribution of x and y. In other words, the numerator is f of xy and denominator is f of y. So what is the numerator now? What is f of xy? Well, f of xy is already given to me as this value. ये value given है. 2/3 x plus 2y, तो मैंने यही लिख लिया 2/3 x plus 2y. And numerator tells us that we need to keep the value of y at half. So we will go ahead and we will plug y at half. It means I will get 2/3 x plus 2 into half. It means that this will become 2/3 x plus 1. This is my numerator. Now let's look at denominator. For denominator, I need marginal distribution of y. We have done this in class, that by definition, the marginal distribution of y means integrating for all possible values of x. So we go ahead and we integrate 2/3 x plus 2y for all possible values of x. X is between 0 and 1. So when you will go ahead and when you will integrate this thing, after integration, we were going ahead and getting 1/3 plus 4/3y. ये आ जाएगा integrate करके. Now, again, denominator tells us that this marginal distribution needs to be evaluated when y is half. So I will again put y as half here. So putting y as half will give me 1/3 plus 4/3 into half. This will give you the answer as 1. So once you go ahead and you put these values, you have got that numerator is this and denominator is this. So finally your probability comes out to be 2/3 x plus 1/1. ये आपका probability हो गया. That means we have gone ahead and we have found out this value. हमने ये value निकाल लिया है that this value is this 2/3 x plus 1. Now put it back here. So you will get integration of 0 to 1 x into 2/3 x plus 1 dx. Take 2/3 out. This is going to be x square plus x 0 to 1 dx. And this will be 2/3 x cube by 3 plus x square by 2 from 0 to 1. 2/3, 1/3 plus 1/2, 2/3, 5/6. The answer will be 5/9. That's the answer to this question. 5/9. Is this clear? It's a little tricky question. So you need to practice such questions. एक बारी में नहीं आएंगे. You need to practice them again and again to understand the gist of this question, what the question is saying. As a homework, can you reverse and can you find E of y given x is half? Please try this part. Then we will discuss it in the group. Find this answer. E of y given x is half. Okay, let's look into the next question. So the answer to this one is 5/9. Give this one a try. This is easy. Question number 41.
One. बेटा क्वेश्चन पढ़ो ध्यान से. It says an industry has 3 firms, 1, 2, and 3 in Kurno competition. They have no fixed cost and you are given their marginal costs, C1, C2, and C3. It then goes ahead and it says that there is an inverse demand function 1 minus Q. And it is asking you that QC is the industry output under Kurno. Find QC inverse. तो मतलब क्या बोल रहा है बेटा? It is saying QC is output of industry 1 plus 2 plus 3. आपको क्या निकालना है? यू हैव टू फाइंड QC इनवर्स, दैट मीन्स यू हैव टू फाइंड 1/QC। हाँ बच्चे, अच्छा, वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन। हाँ, just try to think about this. Beta, what will be the profit function of the first company? It is going to be price into quantity of first company minus marginal cost of first company into the quantity of the first company. I am not putting any values. अभी मैं कुछ डाल नहीं रही हूँ. My general price function is given to me as 1 minus capital Q into quantity of first company minus C1 into Q1. ठीक है बेटा बच्चे, दिस विल बी 1 माइनस Q, क्या हो जाएगा? Q1 प्लस Q2 प्लस Q3 into Q1 माइनस C1 Q। ठीक है जी बेटा, दिस विल बी Q1 माइनस Q1 स्क्वायर minus Q1 Q2 minus Q1 Q3 minus C1 Q1। क्लियर हुई ये बात बच्चे? तो द प्रॉफिट ऑफ द फर्स्ट कंपनी विल बी Q1 minus Q1 स्क्वायर minus Q1 Q2 minus, ये पूरा हमने जो भी लिखा है, minus Q1 Q3 minus C1 Q1। बेटा व्हाट विल द फर्स्ट कंपनी और फर्स्ट फर्म डू? एम क्या है? टू मैक्सिमाइज इट्स प्रॉफिट। How will the first firm maximize its profit? कैसे maximize कर सकता है? Differentiate it with respect to Q1 and equate it to 0. तो जब first firm अपने profit को maximize करता है, this is the profit of the first firm, when it will differentiate this with respect to Q1 and equate it to 0, तो differentiate करके Q1 का differentiation will be 1, Q1 2 Q1 हो जाएगा Q1 स्क्वायर का डिफरेंशिएशन, Q1 Q2 का डिफरेंशिएशन विल बी Q2, Q1 Q3 का डिफरेंशिएशन विल बी Q3, C1 Q1 का डिफरेंशिएशन विल बी C1 इक्वल टू 0. So from here बच्चे, I will get that Q1 is equal to 1 minus Q2 minus Q3 by 2 minus C1 by 2. ये आ जाएगा Q1 की वैल्यू। समझो बात को, व्हाट वी हैव डन, वी हैव ट्राइड टू फाइंड द प्रॉफिट ऑफ फर्म 1। प्रॉफिट ऑफ फर्म 1 विल बी रेवेन्यू माइनस कॉस्ट। रेवेन्यू इज प्राइस इनटू क्वांटिटी, राइट बच्चे? प्राइस की हमें ऑलरेडी इक्वेशन गिवन है, इनटू क्वांटिटी ऑफ फर्म 1 माइनस कॉस्ट। इसको हमने मैक्सिमाइज कर दिया। मैक्सिमाइज करने के लिए वी डिफरेंशिएटेड इट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू Q1 एंड इक्वेटेड इट टू 0। Q1 का ये फंक्शन आ गया। बेटा ऑन वेरी सिमिलर लाइंस, ये तो एक सिमेट्रिक फंक्शन है ना, तो अगर यहाँ पे π2 होता और यहाँ पे C2 होता, नथिंग वुड हैव चेंज्ड। तो बस हमें इस फंक्शन को थोड़ा सा चेंज करना पड़ता। तो सपोज बच्चे, अगर मैं Q2 भी निकालूंगी, बिकॉज दीज आर सिमेट्रिक फंक्शंस, I will go ahead and I will get 1 minus Q1 minus Q3 minus C2 by 2. Look at the pattern. When I am finding Q2 ना, तो Q1 की जगह Q2 लिख दो, C1 की जगह C2 लिख दो। When I am finding Q3, तो बेटा हो जाएगा 1 minus Q1 minus Q2 minus C3 by 2. So on this basis, I am able to go ahead and I am able to find Q1, Q2 and Q3. तीनों ही values मेरे पास आ गई, तीनों reaction functions आ गए हैं। Now beta, just think about it. I am given that C1 is 9 by 30, C2 is 10 by 30, C3 is 11 by 30. Okay, let's put the value. तो बेटा C1 है 1 minus Q2 minus Q3. C1 is given to me as 9 by 30 divided by 2. तो बच्चे this will be, just take the take the LCM, 30 minus Q2 minus Q3 minus 9 by 60. तो बेटा this will be 21 minus Q2 minus Q3 by 60. ऐसे ही हमने Q2 क्या निकाला? 1 minus Q1 minus Q3 minus C2 by 2. C2 is given to me as 10 by 30. Just put the value 1 minus Q1 minus Q3 minus 10 by 30 divided by 2. Beta, take the LCM. It will be 30 minus Q1 minus Q3 minus 10 by 60. So, bachche, this will be 20 minus Q1 minus Q3 by 60. On similar lines, let's find Q3 also. कैसे निकलेगा Q3 बच्चे? 1 minus Q1 minus Q2. C3 is given to you as what? 11 by 30. ठीक है जी. Minus 11 by 30 by 2. तो बच्चे, this is going to be 30 minus Q1 minus Q2 minus 11 by 60. Beta, this will be 19 minus Q1 minus Q2 by 60. समझे बात को? Things have become so easy because I knew कि ये symmetric है, तो यहाँ पे बस जब मैं Q2 निकाल रही हूँ, I will write Q2 की जगह Q1, Q1 की जगह Q2, C1 की जगह C3. When I am finding Q3, तो मैं Q3 की जगह Q1 कर दूंगी और Q1 की जगह Q3, C1 की जगह C3. So these are symmetric functions. When you solve for one function, automatically you are able to get the answer for others also. तो बच्चे, what are the equations I have got? मेरा पहला equation आ गया Q1 is equal to 20 minus 30 Q2 minus 30 Q3 by 60. ये हमारी पहली equation आई है, that Q1 is equal to this. ऐसे ही I have got Q2 is equal to this. तो I will just write this down. तो सेकेंड इक्वेशन क्या आ गई है बच्चे? I have got Q2 is equal to 20 minus 30 Q1 minus 30 Q3 by 60. और ऐसे ही Q3 का वैल्यू what I have got? I have got this. So I will just plug this in. So I will get Q3 is equal to 19 minus 30 Q1 minus 30 Q2 by 60. Clear है बेटा? I have got Q1, Q2 and Q3s. बच्चे, this means अगर मैं इसको थोड़ा सा सिंप्लीफाई कर दूं तो यहां से आ जाएगा 60 Q1 plus 30 Q2 plus 30 Q3 is equal to 21. I will call this equation 1. Beta, if I just take this here, I will get 60 Q2 plus 30 Q1 plus 30 Q3 is equal to 20. I will call this equation 2. If I take this here, I will get 60 Q3 plus 30 Q1 plus 30 Q2 equal to 19. I will call this equation number 3. Clear? Beta, add equation 1, 2 and 3 together. तीनों को add कर लेते हैं. तो 60 Q1 plus 30 Q1 plus 30 Q1. तो कितना हो गया? 120 Q1. बेटा 30 Q2 plus 60 Q2 plus 30 Q2 कितना हो गया? 120 Q2. बेटा 30 Q3 plus 30 Q3 plus 60 Q3, how much will you get? 120 Q3. And this will be 21 plus 20 plus 19. How much will you get? 60. So if I take 120 common, I will get Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 equal to 60. Clear? बच्चे, Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 ही तो QC था. This is exactly the output of the firm, of the industry as a whole, sorry. So I can write this as 120 QC is equal to 60. So 120 by 60 will be 1 by QC. माने QC inverse will be 2. यही तो निकालना है क्वेश्चन में. This is what we need to find out. So QC inverse can be written as 2 and that will be the answer to this question. So answer is 2. ठीक है जी. Come to the next question बेटा. Next question क्या बोल रहे हैं? There is a consumer. I have done this multiple times in the advanced lectures. It is not, it is one of the questions which has been repeated multiple times. तो हम ये थोड़ा जल्दी जल्दी करेंगे. My utility function is बच्चे max 0.5 x1, 0.5 x2 plus min x1, x2. Clear? बेटा इफ x1 is less than x2, हम केस 1 ले रहे हैं, x1 less than x2, तो इसका मतलब ये हो गया कि half of x1 will also be less than half of x2. तो बेटा when you are finding max, तो अगर x1 x2 से कम है तो half x1 भी half x2 से कम है, तो इन दोनों के बीच में what will be the maximum value? It will be 0.5 x2. And इन दोनों के बीच में what is the minimum? x1 is less than x2 ना, so minimum value will be x1. Clear बेटा? अच्छा, if x1 is greater than x2, so बच्चे 0.5 x1 will also be greater than 0.5 x2. तो between them what will be the max value? 0.5 x1. बेटा what will be the minimum value? x2. So we can rewrite our utility function as 0.5 x2 plus x1. कब होगा ये बच्चे? When did we find this? If x1 is less than x2, and it can be written as 0.5 x1 plus x2. बच्चे ये कब होगा? If x1 is greater than x2. Now, let us go ahead and let us fix the utility at some level. मैं इस utility को 4 मान लेती हूँ. Let me fix this at 4. Right? And let me make the quadrant. तो बेटा this is x1 equal to x2 line. This is my x1. This is my x2. बेटा this area, it represents x1 greater than x2. ये represent करता है x1 greater than x2. And बच्चे this area, it represents x1 less than x2. Clear है? Now, when x1 is greater than x2, which part of the utility function we will consider? This part. So beta, how will I plot this thing? I am equating 4 equal to 0.5 x1 plus x2 ना, तो इसके क्या हो सकते हैं quadrants? When my x2 is 4, x1 is 0. When my x1 is 8, x2 is 0. दोनों ही utility मेरे को 4 की देंगे, right? So I can have x1 as 8 and x2 as 4, and this is my IC. But I am going to consider this IC in which region, bache? I will only consider this IC when x1 is greater than x2. So which means that I will consider this only in this region. Right, beta? Similarly, when you will go ahead and draw this IC, na, you will get this IC as this. यहाँ 8 आ जाएगा, यहाँ 4. Right? And you will consider this IC only in this region where x1 is less than x2. So ultimately, the indifference curve that you will be getting, it will look something like this. ऐसा हमें IC मिल. Beta, now, what is the question? The question is, when will it happen that you will buy only good 2? हम सिर्फ good 2 खरीदे, ऐसा कब होगा? So consider this. Suppose I have a very steep budget line. मेरी budget line कुछ ऐसी दिखती है. It looks very steep. I will tell you धीरे धीरे, हाँ. Now just take this. This is my x1 equal to x2. बेटा I have started plotting this IC. मेरा IC कैसा है? मेरा IC है ऐसा, ऐसा. And I want to reach the highest indifference curve possible. तो मैं क्या कर रही हूँ? I am moving upwards. So I move here. I have already done this in the class also. So this, ऐसा कुछ हो जाए. Right? Now, when this is happening, you are consuming a lot of bundles. तो अगर आपको सिर्फ इसको equilibrium बनाना है, if you only want to make this as the equilibrium, it means that your IC का जो steepness है, it must be not exactly equal to the budget line steepness, right? So what kind of ICs will I have? Well, my IC can be like this. I want to reach the highest IC possible. So I will go ahead and reach this. I will reach this. Try to make, same kind of indifference curve. So you will reach this and this. This is possible. Just try to understand this very well. When is this happening? Kab ho raha hai ye? When will you have only this point as the equilibrium? When this budget line is much steeper than this portion of the indifference curve. The indifference curve is a little flat. The budget line is more steep. Only then you will be able to achieve only this point as the equilibrium. समझ रहे हो? Suppose your budget line was very flat. अगर ऐसी budget line होती, तो बेटा जब हम highest indifference curve reach कर रहे थे, we would have attained this point as the highest indifference curve. Right? We would have consumed only x1. If I want to consume only x2, that will be possible when I see that my budget line is very, very steep and my IC is comparatively flat, so that the only highest point where my IC touches the budget line is here. Clear? So, bache, we want that the slope of budget line, it should be greater than equal to the slope of IC. ठीक है जी, स्लोप ऑफ बजट लाइन है px by py. अब स्लोप ऑफ IC इस पार्ट में क्या था? What was my indifference curve here? Well, my indifference curve here when x1 was less than x2 was 0.5 x1 plus x2 plus x1. And इसका जो slope है बच्चे, that is nothing but MRS, which is mu1 by mu2. When you differentiate with respect to x1, you get 1. With respect to x2, you get 0.5. So the slope of your indifference curve, that is 2. So we want that px by py, it should be greater than or equal to 2. Now what is given to you beta in the question? It says that, look, the price of good 2 is 1. ठीक है जी, let's put price of good 2 as 1. So we will get px greater than equal to 2. Am I clear with it? So when it is equal to 2, your IC and budget line will coincide. अगर इसका slope भी 2 है और इसका भी 2 है, they will coincide. But when it is strictly greater than 2, then you will be only consuming good y. There is another way to see. बहुत आसान सा तरीका है. But when px by py is greater than MRS, according to substitute goods, which good do you consume? You consume only good y. यही तो करते हो. This is exactly what I am doing here. If my px by py is greater than the slope of the indifference curve, I will consume only good y. So answer to this question should be 2. Clear? Okay, beta. Come to the next question. देखो ध्यान से. अच्छा, in the third question, this created some amount of confusion. Why? Let me explain that. Note that there, so thoda question padhte hain first, read it out. An economy has 3 firms X, Y and Z. Every unit of output creates benefit of 700 for Y. Samjho zara. X is producing something. When X produced something, it caused a benefit to firm Y. मतलब ये हो गया external benefit of rupees 700. When X produced something, it caused a cost of rupees 300 for firm Z. Bacha, this is external cost. Clear? It is saying firm X cost curve is given to you as this. So the cost curve given of firm X, this will be 2q square plus 10. It will be 2q square plus 10. And it says that the price of good X is given to you as 1600. Now, this question is very simple. देखो, What is my equilibrium condition usually? Where do you attain equilibrium? Usually, because this firm, जो भी हम इस firm की बात कर रहे हैं, I am not given the marginal revenue of the firm. So the firm would have attained its equilibrium where it would have equated price equal to MC. ठीक है? तो under usual condition, firm would have equated P equal to MC. ठीक है बच्चे? Price है 1600. Marginal cost क्या हो जाएगी? When you will differentiate the cost function. So you will get marginal cost as 4Q. So this will give you 4Q. That means Q will come out as 400. So under the usual condition, एक usual condition में आपका जो equilibrium output होगा, it will be 400. Clear beta? But what happens in case of socially optimal output? How do you find socially optimal output? वो तब निकलता है when your social marginal cost is equal to social marginal benefit. तो बच्चे this means that private marginal cost plus external cost should be equal to private marginal benefit plus external benefit plus external benefit. Clear हुई ये बात? बेटा tell me something. What is his private marginal cost? When you would have differentiated his cost function, you would have got his marginal cost. That is 4Q. That is coming as 4Q. Plus, what is the cost he is creating, bacha? He is creating a cost of 300 for firm Z. So this is 300. What is the private marginal benefit? Beta, benefit is always derived from the demand curve and it is equal to the price of the commodity. So private marginal benefit is 1600. And what is the external benefit he is creating? कितने का external benefit create किया? He created an external benefit of 700 for firm Y. So external benefit will be 700. So I will get 4Q is equal to 1600 plus 700 minus 300. So 4Q is equal to 2000. So Q socially optimal will be 500. So under social optimal output, आपका जो optimal output, socially optimal output निकल रहा है, that is 500. Otherwise, जो firm का output equilibrium निकला है, that is 400. So what is the change or the difference in the output between social output, socially optimal and the firm's output? 500 minus 400, that means 100. 100 is the correct answer. ठीक है जी. But, बच्चे notice that in brackets they have written in INR. मतलब वो rupees में आपसे आंसर मांग रहे हैं. So ideally, if I convert these 100 units in rupees, each unit costs 1600. Price of each unit is 1600. So this will give me 160000. So we can go ahead and tell that in INR it should be 16000 like this. Clear? Both answers are correct according to IIT. So if you have written 100 as the answer, वो भी ठीक है. If you have written 160000 as the answer, even that marks correct. वो भी answer ठीक है. Am I clear with it? Okay. Come to the next question, beta. Okay. I have already taken this in the lecture video. So I'm going to skip this question. Come to the next question. Come to question number 55. क्या बोल रहे हैं बच्चे? It says you are given your M is equal to K 1 1 1 K 1 1 1 K. And it says you want that the rank of matrix 10I minus M should be 2. अब थोड़ा सा समझते हैं. हाँ बेटा पहले तो 10I minus M निकाल लो. What will be 10I? 10I will be 10 0 0 0 10 0 0 0 10 minus बच्चे what will be m? m is k 1 1 1 k 1 1 1 k. तो 10i माइनस m को कैसे लिख सकते हैं? 10 माइनस k माइनस 1 माइनस 1 माइनस 1 10 माइनस k माइनस 1 माइनस 1 माइनस 1 10 माइनस k. बेटा दिस इज योर 10i माइनस m मैट्रिक्स. ठीक है जी, am I clear with it? Okay, now try to think further. It is saying that I want that the rank of this matrix, it should be 2. It means that the determinant of this matrix, it should be 0. When the determinant will be 0, its rank will be 2. पहली चीज, I want the determinant of this matrix to be 0. बेटा second thing, एक और चीज ध्यान रखनी पड़ेगी, that all 2 cross 2 matrix should have non-zero determinant. All 2 cross 2 matrix should have non-zero determinant. क्योंकि 2 cross 2 matrix का भी determinant 0 हो जाता है, तब तो प्रॉब्लम हो गई ना, तब तो रैंक 1 हो जाएगी. So I want that ये 3 cross 3 matrix का determinant should be 0. Of course I need that. But at the same time, I also need that 2 cross 2 matrix determinant should be non-zero. वो 0 हो गया तो गड़बड़ा. Am I clear with it? ये बात एकदम क्लियर हो गई है हमें. ठीक है बच्चे, अब एक मिनट जरा एक पॉइंट और हम ध्यान से यहां देखते हैं. बेटा सपोज आई टेक अ 2 cross 2 मैट्रिक्स. सपोज मैंने ये ले लिया, दिस इज अ 2 cross 2 मैट्रिक्स. हाँ, एंड आई ट्राई टू फाइंड इट्स डिटरमिनेंट. क्या आ जाएगा बेटा? दिस इज 1 minus 1 into 10 minus k. This will be 1 plus 1 10 minus k. This will be 1 plus 10 minus k. This will be 11 minus k. Listen to me very carefully. Very, very carefully. Beta, I am saying that I don't want कि 2 cross 2 matrix का determinant 0 बने. अगर 2 cross 2 matrix का भी determinant 0 हो गया तो रैंक 1 हो जाएगी. I want the rank to be 2. तो उसके लिए बहुत एसेंशियल है कि ये जो मैंने कोई रैंडम 2 cross 2 मैट्रिक्स का डिटरमिनेंट निकाला है, इट शुड नॉट बी इक्वल टू 0. अगर वो 0 हो गया तो रैंक विल बी 1. इट मींस आई डोंट वांट k टू बी 11. ये मेरे को याद रखना है कि k 11 नहीं हो सकता, और कुछ भी करो बट k कैन नॉट बी 11. ये बात हमें क्लियर कर ली गई है. ठीक है जी, ओके बेटा. Now I will start and try to find the determinant of this matrix and equate it to 0. Because मुझे चाहिए कि इसका determinant 0 हो जाए, तभी उसकी rank 3 नहीं होगी. So I want to find the determinant of 10 minus k minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 10 minus k minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 10 minus k. थोड़ा सा रो ऑपरेशन कर लेते हैं, things will become easier. So if I just take R1 to R1 plus R2 plus R3, beta, I will get 8 minus k, 8 minus k, 8 minus k, minus 1 minus 1, 10 minus k minus 1, minus 1, 10 minus k. I will take this 8 minus k out. आउट लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, एक्चुअली यहीं से सॉल्व हो गया. बेटा सोचो, ध्यान से सुनो मेरी बात. इफ k इज 8, अगर k का वैल्यू 8 होता है तो ये 0 0 0 हो जाएगी. फर्स्ट रो पूरी 0 बन जाएगी. इफ द फर्स्ट रो इज 0 तो द डिटरमिनेंट विल ऑटोमेटिकली बी 0. सो व्हेन माय k इज 8, I will get the determinant as 0. When I will get the determinant as 0, then I have got the answer, right? Uska rank will be 1 less. So, actually if you solve this further na, agar aap pura solve karoge, तो you will get two values of k at which determinant is 0. अभी जरूरत नहीं है, but I'm just telling you. When you will solve this further, you will get two values of k at which your rank will become, at which your determinant will become 0. एक वैल्यू आ जाएगी 8, एक आएगी 11. बट 11 पे तो वी हैव प्रूव्ड ना दैट रैंक 1 हो जा रही है. वी हैव प्रूव्ड रैंक इज 1. So 11 will not be the answer. So the answer will be 8. Let me do that for you. Let me just take this forward. I will cover that for you. Huh? Just see this beta. So what we can do? I will take 8 minus k out. मैंने ये 8 minus k बाहर ले लिया. And I will get 1, 1, 1, minus 1, 10 minus k minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, 10 minus k. I will perform one more operation and then I will get the answer. So I'm just performing R2 goes to R2 minus R3. क्या आ जाएगा बच्चे? I will get 8 minus k, 1, 1, 1, 0, 11 minus k, 11 minus k. This will be minus 11 minus k, minus 1, minus 1, 10 minus k. So I can take 11 minus k also out. So ये हो जाएगा 8 minus k, 11 minus k, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1 minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, 10 minus k. So notice that beta, when your k is 8, then also ये पूरा determinant 0 हो गया. When your k is 11, then also your determinant is 0. But at k equal to 11, we have proved that your rank will become 1. So k cannot be 11. We want rank to be 2. So what will be the value of k? It will be 8. So the answer to this question will be 8. Clear, beta? Okay, come to the next question. Very easy question. बहुत ही आसान question है. Notice that the level of microeconomics has not been very difficult in the IIT paper, and which is a very good thing. Beta, you are given this utility function, right? You're given the budget line. It is asking you to find CT plus 1 by CT. Tell me something. What is my equilibrium condition? Equilibrium condition कहता है MRS is equal to the slope of budget line. MRS is differentiate this with respect to CT with respect to CT plus 1 equated to the slope of budget line, which is 1 plus R. When I will differentiate this with respect to CT now, I will get 1 by CT. When I will differentiate this with respect to CT plus 1, तो क्या आ जाएगा बेटा? 1 upon 1 plus theta CT plus 1 equal to 1 plus R. Equal to 1 plus R. Let's solve this a bit more. So I will get ये 1 है. CT plus 1 by CT is equal to 1 plus R upon 1 plus theta. यही तो निकालना है. This is what the question is asking. Find CT plus 1 by CT. निकाल लिया. Now it says that you are given theta as 0.05 and R as 0.08. ठीक है, डाल दो value. R is 0.08. Theta is 0.05. तो क्या हो जाएगा बच्चे? 1.08 upon 1.05. So when you will solve this, you will get approximately 1.03. ठीक है जी. Better come to the next question. I have taken this in the stats lecture. We have already done this in the live lectures. Please refer from there. Okay. Come to the next question. Question number 58. क्या बोल रहे बच्चे? It says a number is randomly chosen from the set of first 100 natural numbers. बहुत आसान क्वेश्चन आया है. The probability of x satisfies this condition. क्या condition है बच्चे? X plus 300 by x greater than 65. So x square plus 300 greater than 65x. तो बेटा x square minus 65x plus 300 greater than 0. Solve कर लो ये equation. So x square minus 60x minus 5x plus 300 greater than 0. X minus 60 minus 5, x minus 60 greater than 0, x minus 5, x minus 60 greater than 0. So I want that the product of these two things should be positive. Beta, when will this happen? या तो दोनों positive हों या दोनों ही negative हो जाए. Then also the product will be positive. Beta, when will this happen? When x is greater than 5 and x is greater than 60. So this means that x should be greater than 60. When will this happen? X less than 5 and x less than 60. So inse aa gaya that x should be less than 5. So bache, if I just take this together, what will I go ahead and I get? Either x should be greater than 60 or x should be less than 5. So how many x's are less than 5? 4 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many x's are greater than 60? 40 x's. 61, 62, 63 se leke 100 tak. So what is the probability of these x's? 4 x's here. 40 x's here. So there are 44 x's which will satisfy this condition. Out of how many x's? 100 x's. So divided by 100. So answer will be 0.4. Clear beta? Okay. Come to question number 59. Beta kya keh raha hai? You have a function given to you. This is x to the power 4 plus 2x cube plus kx square minus k. ये function आपको given है. You are given this function. It says x is equal to 3 by 2 is a point of local minima of the function and m is global minima of the function. Find f0 minus m. Very, very good question, but easy. कैसे? But to find minima or maxima, क्या करते हैं हम? We differentiate the function and equate it to 0. When I will differentiate this function, what will I get? 4x cube plus 6x square plus 2kx, and I will equate it to 0. Beta, let me take 2x common. I will get x square plus 3x plus k equal to 0. Clear हुआ बात? So I want that the first derivative should be equal to 0. Now when will this happen बच्चे? When either x is 0, अगर x 0 है तो भी ये equal to 0 हो जाएगा, और x square plus 3x plus k is 0, या ये 0 हो गया. Now listen to me. You are given that the function is minimum at 3 by 2. मतलब जब हमने 3 by 2 पे डेरिवेटिव चेक किया होगा ना तो 0 आया होगा, तभी तो एक पॉइंट ऑफ मिनिमम अचीव हुआ. तो जब हम यहां पर इस फंक्शन में x की जगह 3 by 2 प्लग इन करते हैं तो हमें 0 मिलता है इन द डेरिवेटिव. तो बेटा यहां पे क्या हो जाएगा? इफ आई जस्ट सॉल्व दिस, क्या मिलेगा हमें? 9 by 4 plus 9 by 2 plus k equal to 0. 9 plus तो 9 plus 18 plus, please look into the calculations very carefully that I am doing them rightly. So this will be 18 by 4. So I will get k is equal to Have I done something wrong here? Just see here. So when I will put it in this, instead of x, I have plugged in 3 by 2. That is correct. So 3 by 2 whole square will be 9 by 4. Absolutely correct. Now you will go ahead and plug here. Oh, okay. I just missed out a 2 here. This will be 4x cube, hai na? So this will be 2x when I take common. This will be 2x square. Yes. I was thinking, why am I getting an answer in decimal? This will be 2 here, bache. This will be 2 here. 2 here. Now it is correct. So I will go ahead and I will get 9 by 2 plus 9 by 2 plus k equal to 0. It means I will get k as -9. ठीक है जी, k का वैल्यू आ गया -9. अब देखो, अब हमारा दूसरा क्या आया था? जब हमने फर्स्ट डेरिवेटिव को इक्वल टू 0 किया तो हमारे पास क्या आया कि या तो इसका 0 होना जरूरी है जिससे x इक्वल टू 0 आ गया, या इसका 0 होना जरूरी है. तो बच्चे जब ये हमने 0 इक्वेट करना है तो 2x स्क्वायर प्लस 3x, k का वैल्यू हमें ऑलरेडी पता चल चुका है दैट k इज -9, इसका 0 होना जरूरी है. So from here I will get 2x square, and now you can just solve this. This will be plus 6x minus 3x minus 9 equal to 0. 2x, x plus 3 minus 3, x plus 3 equal to 0. 2x minus 3, x plus 3 equal to 0. So beta x will be either 3 by 2 or -3. अब ध्यान से सुनो मेरी बात को, बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है जो हम चीज अब इवैल्यूएट करने लगे हैं. बेटा हमारे पास 3 क्रिटिकल पॉइंट आ गए हैं. क्या क्रिटिकल पॉइंट्स आए हैं हमारे पास? व्हाट आर द 3 क्रिटिकल पॉइंट्स वी हैव गॉट? कि या तो x 0 होगा, या x 3 by 2 होगा, ये तो गिवन ही था, या x -3 होगा. ये 3 हमारे पास क्रिटिकल पॉइंट आ गए हैं. वी ऑल्सो नो, हमें ऑलरेडी बताया गया है दैट यहां तो मिनिमा है, बट ये लोकल मिनिमा है. मतलब इन दोनों में से एक और पॉइंट पे इट विल बी अ मिनिमा. बेटा हाउ कैन वी चेक मिनिमा और मैक्सिमा? कैसे चेक कर सकते हैं? डबल डेरिवेटिव से. तो f डैश एक्स क्या आया था बच्चों? व्हाट वाज f डैश एक्स? देखो ध्यान से, मेरा जो fx फंक्शन है, अब k की जगह आई कैन प्लग -9 because I know k is -9 here. Instead of k everywhere you can just plug -9. Clear बेटा? अच्छा, what was your f dash x? क्या आया था f dash x? 4x cube plus 3 into 2 6x square minus 18x. ये f dash x आया है. बेटा what will be f double dash x? 12x square plus 12x minus 18. ये आपका f double dash x हो गया. I can just take 6 common. I will get 2x square plus 2x minus 3. Clear? f double dash x है. बेटा what will be f double dash 0? 6, 2 into 0 plus 2 into 0 minus 3. That means minus 18. क्या हो जाएगा इसका वैल्यू बच्चे? It will be minus 18. Am I clear with it? Okay. Now, beta, just tell me what will be f double dash of your the next value. तो दूसरा क्या वैल्यू है हमारा? What is the next value we have evaluated? The next value is -3. So what will be f double dash of -3? It will be 6. 2 into -3 whole square, 9 plus 2 into -3 minus 3. So this will be 6, 18 minus 6 minus 3. This will be 6, 18 minus 9, which will be positive. Which will be positive. अच्छा, एक बारी 3 by 2 पे भी evaluate करना जरा. What will be f double dash of 3 by 2? It will be 6, 2 into 3 by 2 whole square, which means 9 by 4 plus 2 3 by 2, which means here I will put 3 by 2 minus 3. So I will get here 6, 9 by 2, which means 4.5 plus 3 minus 3. This will be also positive. Whenever your double derivative is positive, जब भी double derivative positive आता है, you attain a minima. और जब भी double derivative negative आता है, you attain a maxima. तो 0 पे, this is less than 0, you have a maxima. और -3 और 3 by 2 पे you have attained positive values, so it is a minima. It is a minima. बेटा ऑलरेडी गिवन है कि 3 by 2 तो लोकल मिनिमा है, इसमें सबसे मिनिमम वैल्यू नहीं आती है, तो दूसरी कौन सी वैल्यू बच गई बेटा? दूसरी वैल्यू क्या बची है जहां पे मिनिमा आ रहा है? -3. तो ये हो गया ग्लोबल मिनिमा. अब क्वेश्चन क्या बोल रहा है? व्हाट इज क्वेश्चन सेइंग? इट इज सेइंग फाइंड f of 0 minus m where m is global minima. ग्लोबल मिनिमा की वैल्यू, ग्लोबल मिनिमा क्या है? ग्लोबल मिनिमा हमारा -3 है. -3 पे आई एम अटेनिंग ग्लोबल मिनिमा. अच्छा, अब हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? वी नीड टू फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ द फंक्शन एट दिस -3, क्योंकि हमें वैल्यू निकालना है ना, ग्लोबल मिनिमम वैल्यू. ठीक है जी बेटा, फाइंड f of -3. What will you go ahead and get? So f of -3 will be -3 to the power 4 plus 2 -3 whole cube minus 9 -3 whole square plus 9. ठीक है जी. Find बेटा f of 0. f of 0 will be 0 to the power 4 plus 2 0 whole cube minus 9 0 whole square plus 9. ये तो 9 हो जाएगा. And बेटा ये आएगा -45. So when you will solve this, you will get 9 minus -45. 9 plus 45. Answer will be 54. What will be your answer to this question? 54. Clear? Okay, beta. Come to question number 60. बहुत सिंपल है क्वेश्चन 60. इसमें you just need to go ahead and apply Lagrange. कुछ नहीं करना है. देखो, you need to maximize this function subject to this condition. लगा दो बेटा Lagrange. 100 minus e to the power minus x minus e to the power minus y plus lambda ex plus y minus e upon e minus 1. Differentiate this with respect to x. क्या मिल जाएगा? Minus e to the power minus x into minus 1 plus lambda into e equal to 0. So from here you will get, ये तो +1 हो गया ना, -1 into -1. So you will get e to the power minus x will be minus lambda into e. Equation number 1. बेटा equation number 2 करो. Differentiate this with respect to y. तो मिलता है हमें minus e to the power minus y into -1 plus lambda into 1 equal to 0. तो बच्चे you will get minus again -1 into -1 हो गया 1 becomes 1. तो बेटा you will get e to the power minus y is equal to minus lambda. बच्चे ये हो गई हमारी equation number 2. Divide 1 by 2 quickly. E to the power minus x by e to the power minus y will be e. बेटा from here बहुत ध्यान से सुनो मेरी बात को. Base is same ना. When base is same and they are dividing, तो power will be subtracted. So you will get e to the power minus x plus y is equal to e to the power 1. बेस तो सेम है दोनों का, तो पावर्स को कंपेयर कर लो. तो minus x plus y will be 1. तो बेटा y will be 1 plus x. क्लियर? कंस्ट्रेंट क्या गिवन है बच्चे? ex plus y is equal to e upon e minus 1. ex plus बेटा y की जगह पे I will plug 1 plus x is equal to e upon e minus 1. So I will take x common from here. 1 plus e is equal to e upon e minus 1. So beta what will be my x? E upon 1 plus e into e minus 1. बेटा ये तो a plus b, a minus b का फॉर्मूला है. So I can write this as e upon e square minus 1. Right? A minus b into a plus b can be written as a square minus b square. Clear? अच्छा, what was y बच्चे? y क्या निकाला था हमने? y was 1 plus x. ठीक है जी, just plug that. So y will be 1 plus x. So 1 plus e upon e square minus 1. So I will get e square minus 1 plus I think we have made a mistake. हमने इनमें से x common लिया है, but this 1 is also there. तो ये plus 1 होगा यहाँ पे. It will go on to the other side. Okay. I need to do this. Let me do this step again, huh? I think I just made one small mistake here. ये देखो, ये plus 1 भी तो है. I just didn't took this. So it will be x 1 plus e is equal to e upon e minus 1 minus 1 beta. Huh? So x 1 plus e will be e minus 1 upon 1 plus upon e minus 1. So this will be 1 upon e minus 1. This will be x 1 plus e. So your x will be 1 upon e square minus 1. But what is your y? Y is 1 plus x. So it will be 1 plus 1 upon e square minus 1. तो बेटा यहाँ पे आपको आ जाएगा e square minus 1 plus 1 upon e square minus 1, e square upon e square minus 1. This is how you can get your values. You can get your x and y. अब क्या क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है? Find y by x under root. तो y का वैल्यू क्या आया है? e square upon e square minus 1. And x का वैल्यू क्या आया है? 1 upon e square minus 1 under root. तो बेटा this will give you under root of e square. That means e. So e is nothing but 2.72. So the correct answer to this question will be 2.7. Right, beta? So with this, we complete question number 51 to 60 of your IIT JAM 2023 paper. And I hope that you shall be able to now practice these questions. Please do these questions before your before sitting for your final exam. Right, beta? Okay, thank you.
A is 1, 0, half, 1. And you're asked to find out what will be a to the power 50. And you are given 4 options. Right? You're given 4 options. Try to do this question on your own. I'll give you a minute. So this is your a beta. What will be a square? It will be a into a. So 1 into 1 plus 0 into half 1. 1 into 0 plus 0 into 1, 0. Half into 1 plus 1 into half, half plus half, 1. Half into 0 plus 1 into 1, 1. This will be your a square. Find out a cube beta. A cube will be a square into a. This will be 1 into 0 into half, which means 1. 1 into 0 plus 0 into 1, 0. 1 into 1 plus 1 into half, 3 by 2. And 1 into 0 plus 1 into 1, 1. Can you see the pattern? The pattern that we see is that a to the power n, here it is a to the power 1, a to the power 2, a to the power 3, will be 1, 0, n by 2 and 1. Isn't it? Isn't it? This is power was 1, half. Power is 2, 1. Power is 3. 1 is 2 by 2, right? 3 by 2. So when the power will be 50 beta, what will happen? 1, 0, 50 by 2 is 25 and 1. Right? So the correct answer to this question should be this. Okay, it will be 1, 25, 0 and 1. All right, the second question on your screen. Now, try to do this question. It says you are given a matrix A such that A square is equal to 2A minus I. I is unit matrix. A to the power n will be. Try to do this question. Tell me which of the option is correct. Post it in the chat window. Okay, let's try to write. A square is 2A minus I. What will be A cube, beta? A square into A. 2A minus I into A. 2A square minus I into A. 2A square minus A. A square is 2A minus I. 2A minus I minus A. 4A minus 2I minus A. 3A minus 2I. 3A minus 2I. Are we seeing some pattern as of now? Let's find out one more, then it will be easy. I'll find out A to the power 4. A cube into A. A cube is 3A minus 2I into A. 3A square minus 2A. A square is 2A minus I. 3. 2A minus I minus 2A. 6A minus 3I minus 2A. 4A minus 3I. Now, yes, if this is 2, here you see 2 and here you see 1. If this is 3, here you see 3, here you see 2. If this is 4, here you see 4, here you see 3. So if this is n, here you will see n and here you will see n minus 1. Here you will see n minus 1. That's the answer to this question. So correct answer will be A. Clear? Okay, beta. Question on your screen now. Try to do this question on your own. I thought to make it a bit difficult, I removed the options. Try to do this. The product of n matrix, you're given these n matrix, is equal to 1, 378, 0 and 1. Find the value of n. Find the value of n. Try to do this question yourself. Pause your screen for a second. Try to do this yourself, beta. Then I will do this question. Okay. Okay. Now what we will do, we will just look at first two observation beta. I am getting 1, 0, 1, 1 into 1, 2, 0, 1. Of course, this is getting multiplied with others. But if I just find the product, I will get 1 into 1 plus 1 into 0, 1. 1 into 2 plus 1 into 1, 2 plus 1, 3. 0 into 1 plus 1 into 0, 0. 0 into 2 plus 1 into 1, 1. Which is the third observation. Which is the third observation. So I see that the product of the first two observation is the third observation. But there is something very interesting happening. If I find the product of first two, I've got this. If I just multiply, if I just go ahead and multiply this with the third observation, I will get this as 1 into 1 plus 3 into 0, 1. 1 into 3 plus 3 into 3, 6. 1 into 0 into 1 plus 1 into 0, 0 and 1. So when I find the product of first two observation, I am getting this third observation. And if you look into this third observation, it is 1, 3, 0, 1. तो देखो यहाँ पे जो मेरा product आ रहा है ना, what product I am getting ना, that product, if I find the product of these two observation, it is coming 1, 0, 1, 3. So if I just compare, each of these have 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. This is 1 here and this is 2 here, and product is coming 3. So product is coming 1 plus 2. Making sense? Similarly, this was product of first two observation. First observation and second observation. When I multiplied it with the third observation, so notice that these three elements are same. And in the answer that I am getting finally, also I see 101. But here I am getting 6. And 6 is 1 plus 2 plus 3. So if there are n observations, if I am multiplying till n, what will be the product? Can anyone tell me? 1, 0, 1, 1 plus 2 plus 3 till n. That will be the product, right? And this beta will be nothing but sum of n observation is n plus 1 by 2 and this. And the final matrix is given to me as 1, 0, 1, 378. So this final matrix is 1, 0, 1, and here I have 378. I can do the comparison. I can just compare. So n plus 1 by 2 will be equal to 378. Just give me a minute. Sometimes the pen shows tantrums. Right? So n square plus n is equal to 378 into 2. Quadratic equation. Just solve it. So when you will be solving this, you will get n as 27. That's the answer to this question. Good question. Tricky one. Right? This is the kind of questions that are asked in ISI. So good one. Okay, beta. At last, homework question for you. You're given A is 0 alpha 0 0. Right? You're given A plus I to the power 50 minus 50A is this. You need to find out A plus B plus C plus D. It's a homework question. Try to post your answers in the chat window. What will be A plus B plus C plus D? Okay? Okay, beta. Thank you.
Answer will be true or false. And then I will move on to the next question. So question of the day. Okay. So if Mohit utility function So Mohit's utility function is given by xy and Seema's utility function is given by u is equal to root of xy, right? Then Mohit will always derive more happiness than Seema. Please take care of my handwriting. So Mohit will always derive more happiness than Seema does from any combination of x and y. So beta, this is the question. You have to go ahead and try to solve this. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to solve this question. Just made up this question. So the question is, you have to tell me whether this statement is true or false. If Mohit's, this is based on one of the IIT JAM mock papers series that we have in our course. So if Mohit's utility function is u is equal to xy and Seema's utility function is root xy, then Mohit will always derive more happiness than Seema for any combination of x and y. I'm giving you 2 minutes to solve this question. Jot down your answer, think about what the answer can be, then I will solve it with you. Tell me whether this is a true statement or false. Just try to think about it, please. So take a moment, think whether this statement is true or false. You can write your answers below and you can tell me whether this statement is true or false. The statement is this: Mohit's utility function is u is equal to xy and Seema's utility function is u is equal to root xy. You have to tell me whether Mohit will always derive more happiness than Seema for any combination of x, y. Is this true or not? Okay, now I will answer the question for you, beta. So this is a test of how well you are doing in your preparation, how close you are to IIT JAM. As I told you, we have already covered the consumer theory. I am going to start with uncertainty and then the producer theory. But this is a test on consumer theory, how well you are performing currently for your IIT preparation. ठीक है? अच्छा, solution देखो. But the solution to this is that this is a false statement. Why? Because we know that X and Y, they represent consumption of the two goods. है कि नहीं है? X and Y represent consumption of the two goods. But all that we know is that X and Y should be positive. But imagine a scenario where X into Y is less than 1. Imagine a scenario where X into Y is less than 1. Suppose X and Y is still positive. X represents the consumption of good X. Y represents the consumption of good Y. Now X into Y is less than 1. So imagine a case where beta X into Y, let's say, is 0.5. Right? So what is the utility of Mohit? Mohit's utility function is X into Y. So Mohit will get the utility X into Y, which in this case will be 0.5. What will be the utility of Seema? Seema will get the utility root xy, na? So root of xy. So it will be root of 0.5 and root of 0.5 is 0.7. So in this case, utility of Seema is more than utility of Mohit. So although from the utility function, you may think that, xy is always greater than root xy, but that is not always true. The reverse is also possible. So the current statement is false. That is the first question of the day. Is that clear? ठीक है बेटा. Write down the next question.
क्या लिखा है? For real constant A and B, let M be a matrix. So this matrix is given to you. And it says that this is an orthogonal matrix. ठीक? Which of the following statement is or are always true? A plus B is 0. B is equal to 1 minus A square. A into B is half minus half and M square is equal to I2. तो देख लेते बेटा. What is an orthogonal matrix? क्या property रहता है orthogonal matrix का? The property of orthogonal matrix that A into A transpose is equal to identity matrix. Right? Also, there is another property of orthogonal matrix, which is that the determinant of A is plus minus 1. The determinant of A is plus minus 1. तो बेटा यहाँ देखो जरा, if I just do 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, A, B, and I try to find its determinant, what will I get? 1 by root 2B minus 1 by root 2A, and the determinant is always plus minus 1. So I will get plus minus 1. If I take 1 by root 2 common, B minus A is equal to plus minus 1. So beta B minus A will be plus minus root 2. If I take root 2 here. है ना? तो बेटा B, अगर मैं यहाँ से I want to find the value of B minus A whole square का जरूरत ही नहीं है. If I just find out B will be plus minus root 2 plus A. है ना? माने option number this is incorrect. Option number B is incorrect. ठीक है? अच्छा, now if I go ahead and if I take this further, if I try to take this further beta, so what else can we go ahead and what else can we do? Let us try to go ahead and let us try to find out what happens if I go ahead and if I supposedly square on both sides. ठीक है, अगर हम इसको square on both sides कर देते हैं, so what will happen if I just square this on both sides beta? So I will get b minus a whole square is equal to 2. So b square plus a square minus 2ab is equal to 2. है ना? So what will I go ahead and what will I get beta? I will get that b square plus a square is equal to 2 plus 2ab is equal to 2 plus 2ab. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब this also is not making a lot of sense as of now. अभी तक तो इसका भी कोई सेंस नहीं मिल रहा. So I will use the third property to check if anything can be done. Right? So a is given to you as 1 root 2, 1 root 2, a and b. And if I just transpose this matrix, I will get 1 root 2, 1 root 2, a and b. And this should give me identity matrix 1, 0, 0, 1. So if I start solving this beta, 1 root 2 into 1 root 2 is 1 by 2 plus 1 root 2 into 1 root 2 is 1 by 2. 1 by root 2 a plus 1 by root 2 into a plus 1 by root 2 into b. देखो, इसको इससे मल्टीप्लाई करो प्लस इसको इससे. 1 by root 2 into a plus 1 by root 2 into b. Beta 1 by root 2 into a plus 1 by root 2 into b and a square plus b square. I think now it is solved. This should be equal to 1001. It should be equal to 1001. तो माने a square plus b square will come out as 1. A square plus b square should be 1. So from this beta, if I just put a square plus b square as 1 here, I'll get 1 is equal to 2 plus 2ab. This can go here. Minus 1 is equal to 2ab. So ab will be minus half. A into b will be minus half. है ना? So which means that this option is correct. A into b will be minus half. अच्छा, अब अगर हम इसको equal to 0 कर दें तो what will I get? 1 by root 2a plus 1 by root 2b will be a, 0. So if I take 1 by root 2 common beta, 1 by root 2 common, I will get a plus b is equal to 0. Mane I will get a plus b is equal to 0. I'll get a plus b is equal to 0. So beta, which means that option number a is also correct. A plus b is in fact 0. है ना? And बेटा अगर आप a into a करोगे तो I नहीं होता है. A into a transpose I होता है, which means that option D is incorrect. So the correct options are A and C. The correct options are A and C. ठीक है? Okay बेटा, thank you.